Your resume gets 6 seconds. That's it. We surveyed over 200 HR experts across US, Canada, and Western Europe, and what they told us will completely change how you think about job applications forever. I'm Andrei, co-founder of Novoresume, and I have a confession. When I was 19, I moved to Denmark with nothing but hope and a terrible resume. I sent over 1,000 applications, online, in person, and I literally walked into shops begging for work. But 0 replies, not one. I was broke, couldn't afford rent, and seriously considered leaving the country. But that failure taught me everything I know about what actually works. And now, millions of people use our platform because we learned these lessons the hard way. Let's start with the biggest lie in career advice, the one-page resume rule. 67% of HR experts prefer a 2-page resume. Let me repeat that. 2/3 want more content, not less. Picture this. You're a hiring manager. You have 50 resumes to review, and you see this tiny font, 0 white spacing, everything squished together. It screams amateur. One HR director from our service said, and I quote, "When I see everything crammed into one page, I immediately think this person doesn't understand professional communication." But wait, it gets worse. 23% said they'd never read past 2 pages, no matter how qualified you are. So if you're a senior candidate with 15 years of experience trying to fit everything into 1 page, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot twice. It looks unprofessional, and also you can't tell your full story. The sweet spot, 2 pages. Give yourself room to breathe, use proper formatting, and actually tell your story. Now here's something that completely changed my approach. What do you think HR looks first on your resume? Do you think it's your education, your name, your contact info? Wrong. 34% go straight to your work experience section. Another 28% check your professional summary, and only 12% care about your education first. This blew my mind because I was doing everything backwards. When I was transitioning from bartending to librarian assistant to eventually starting Novoresume, I was always leading with my degree in innovation and entrepreneurship. I thought that would impress people. But here's what one recruiter told us. I don't care where you went to school if you can't prove you can do the job. Your experience section is your movie trailer. It's what sells the ticket. Even if your experience seems unrelated, like bartending days, it shows you can handle pressure, work with difficult people, and show up consistently. Those are skills that transfer everywhere. But here's the kicker. 28% look at your summary first. This is your elevator pitch, your 30-second commercial for why you're worth their time. I used to skip this section completely. Huge mistake, because it's prime real estate and you're wasting time if it's generic. One HR manager from our service said something that stuck with me. The summary tells me if this person understands what they are applying for. If it's generic, I know they're misapplying and don't really want this specific job. So whether it's your experience or your summary they read first, both need to be tailored to that specific role you want. Okay, this next finding might hurt some feelings, but it could save your career. 54% of HR experts view creative resumes negatively or are completely neutral about them. Only 31% actually like them. Let me paint you a picture. You spend 3 weeks designing this beautiful resume with custom graphics, unique fonts, creative layouts. You're very proud of it. It looks like art. And that's exactly the problem. One head of HR from Alberta told us straight up, a resume should be a standardized formal document. Another recruiter said that their biggest pet peeve is resumes that look like art projects instead of professional documents. But why? Here's what most people don't understand. HR managers aren't judging a design contest. They're trying to quickly assess if you can do the job. When your resume looks like a magazine ad, it's actually way harder for them to find the information they need. Plus, and this is crucial, most companies use applicant tracking systems, ATS software that scans your resume before a human even sees it. Creative designs often can't be read by these systems. So your beautiful design might never make it to the human eyes. I made this mistake early on. I thought that I needed to stand out visually. But you know what actually makes you stand out? Results, achievements. Prove that you can solve their problems. Now, there are exceptions, of course. If you're applying for a graphic design role or creative position, then yes, show your design skills on your resume. But for 90% of jobs in accounting, tech, sales, management, engineering, a clean and professional beats creative every time. The goal isn't to win a design award. The goal is to get an interview. Now, let's tackle the most controversial topic in job searching: cover letters. The results from our survey will shock you because even HR experts can't agree on this. 48% say cover letters make or break your application. That's nearly half, saying it's critically important. But here's a plot twist. 31% told us they don't read them at all, ever. And the remaining 21% only read them sometimes. So you have this situation where half the people making hiring decisions think cover letters are crucial and the other half completely ignoring them. What do you do with this information? Let me tell you what I learned from my 1,000 plus job applications in Denmark. I wrote personalized cover letters for every single one of them. And you know what? The job I finally got, bartending, I got it because of the certifications I earned, but the cover letter helped me as well, according to the hiring manager. And here's what's interesting from our survey data. Of those who do read the cover letters, 73% of them read them after reviewing your resume first. So your resume needs to be strong enough to get them interested in reading more. One hiring manager told us something brilliant. A cover letter can't save a bad resume, but it can elevate a good one. And another said, I use cover letters to check if candidates actually want this job or if they are just mass applying. Here's my strategy. Write a cover letter, but make your resume so compelling that it stands out alone. Think of the cover letter as a bonus track on an album. It's nice to have, but the main songs better be hits. And please don't just repeat what's on your resume in paragraph form. Use the cover letter to tell the story behind the resume. Why are you switching careers? What draws you to this specific company? What can't be captured in bullet points? Alright, this next finding is brutal, but you need to hear it. 78% of HR experts see multiple jobs lasting less than a year as a red flag. Let that sink in. Nearly 8 out of 10 hiring managers will question your loyalty and commitment if they see a pattern of short-term employment. I learned this lesson personally, and it almost cost me everything. After landing my bartender job, I worked there for about 8 months before switching to a librarian position. Then I had various student jobs while we were building Novoresume. On paper, it looked like I couldn't stuck to anything, but here's where it gets interesting. While 78% of HR managers see it as a red flag, 45% of those people said it's a red flag, but it might actually still be a good hire if they can explain it properly. Context is everything. One recruiter from our service said, I don't automatically reject job hoppers, but they need to tell me a compelling story. Are they growing their skills? Were they in toxic environments? Did they take calculated risks? The why matters more than the what. Another HR manager told us, if someone has 3 8-month stints in a row with no explanation, that's concerning. But if they can show progression, learning, or legitimate reasons for the move, I listen. So, how do you handle these if you're a job hopper? First, be honest but strategic in how you frame it. Don't say, my boss was terrible, even if it's true. Instead, focus on what you learned and how each move advanced your career goals. Second, show your stability in other areas. Maybe you've been volunteering with the same organization for over 3 years, or you've been consistently developing skills in the same field despite changing companies. And third, if you're currently in a role you want to leave quickly, consider sticking it out longer if possible. Building at least one period of longer employment can offset earlier short stints. The key takeaway, your next role might be the one that breaks the pattern, so choose wisely. Now let's talk about the mistakes that are absolutely killing your chances. We asked our 200 plus HR experts for their biggest pet peeves and most common mistakes they see. The answers were eye-opening. The number one most common mistake was too much irrelevant information. One recruiter told us, I don't need to know that you were a cashier in high school if you're applying for a marketing director role 10 years later. Every line on your resume should either prove you can do the job or show relevant career traits. And second biggest mistake, missing or unclear employment dates. This drives HR managers completely crazy. One hiring manager said, when I see missing dates, I immediately assume they are hiding something. Always include months and years, and if you have gaps, address them directly. Third, lying. And oh boy, this one is big. 86% of HR experts have personally caught applicants lying on their resume. 86%. That's almost all hiring managers who have seen outright lies. Don't be these people. One HR director shared a story with us. I had someone claim that they managed a team of 50 people during the interview. It became clear that they were team lead for 50 people across multiple departments they never directly supervised. That misrepresentation cost them the job. Here's another mistake that surprised me. Reverse chronological order issues. Multiple experts mentioned seeing resumes where the dates don't make sense or the progression that looks backwards. Your most recent experience should be at the top, working backwards in time. But here's the mistake that really gets me fired up. People thinking ATS systems automatically select the best candidates. One expert said, and I quote, "Applicants think the ATS selects most qualified people and recruiters only see those." That's completely false. ATS systems filter out resumes with formatting issues or missing keywords, but they don't rank quality. Humans still make the final decision. So optimize for ATS, but write for humans. The last big mistake? Generic one-size-fits-all resume. If your resume could apply to 20 different jobs, it's not specific enough for any of them. Now, here's what I wish someone had told me when I was 19, broke and desperate for work. Your resume is not a biography. It's not about listing everything you've ever done. It's about telling the story of why you're the perfect solution to their specific problem. When I finally got that bartender job, it wasn't because I had a perfect resume. It was because I invested in myself, got certified, and could prove I had the skills they needed. That mindset, focusing on what value you bring rather than just what you've done, changed everything for me. And that's exactly why we built Novoresume, because creating a professional ATS-friendly resume that tells your story effectively shouldn't be a nightmare that takes weeks to figure out. Every single template that we've created is based on what actually works in the real world, not what looks pretty in a design contest, even though they look great and they could win some contests probably. We've helped millions of people land jobs, from fresh graduates to senior executives, because we learned these lessons the hard way so you don't have to. So I want to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest resume struggle right now? Are you a job hopper trying to explain your path? Are you a recent graduate with no work experience? Are you switching careers completely? Drop your situation below, because I read every single comment and your question might become our next deep dive video.